Hello guys, in this video we are going to see how to upload images inside the database and how to display images from the database. Okay, now we are going to see this example. Now here I am having this demo project. Inside this I am having one heading, and for this I have used Bootstrap so that we don't waste our time in styling. And also I will be telling you how to use functions in PHP. Okay, when it comes to functions, we are always trying to keep our code dry, that is, don't repeat yourself. Okay, we will not repeat the entire code. Using functions we are going to display the data. Okay, let's see how to use that one. Before that I'll just show this demo. Now here I am having username, mobile and choose file. Now let me just show this demo project. Here I'll be writing here username Rita, mobile I'll just write this one, choose file, and from here I'm just going to select one image. Okay, from here let me just select one image. I'll be selecting this image. I'll click on this. Now you can see this image name has come here. Okay, homefood.jpg. I'll click on submit. Once I click on submit, you can see this table, this entire image, the username is being displayed here. Mobile number I am not displaying here, only username and image I am displaying. Okay, if you want you can display mobile as well, but you can see this entire data I am getting directly from the database. Okay, first I will be storing inside the database, and from that database I am just displaying inside this website. Now if I just show you the database here, I'll just write here localhost, and here I'll be writing PHP myadmin. Okay, stylings, you can say stylings I have not focused much because I have used Bootstrap. Okay, if you want you can give better stylings using CSS. Now here this is now PHP myadmin dashboard is open. Now here I have just created image upload database. Inside this I am having this table, okay, registration table, and inside this registration table if I just open this one, you can see all the data whatever I have entered that has been stored here. Okay, you can see images hash. Okay, this folder we are going to create, and inside this folder we are going to store these images. Okay, you don't have to worry if you don't understand. I'll be explaining you step by step. I'm not going to skip any part so that you can understand easily. Okay, now we are just going to display this entire data here. Okay, whatever I am having inside the database, that data has been displayed. And also you can see here inside this database for Rita the ID is 6, but here inside whenever I am displaying the ID number is 5 because inside this database I have deleted ID number 1. Okay, so here I am having correct ID numbers whatever it is been displayed, but here I will be having sequential order. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Now we are going to see everything, and also here you can see I am getting this message, data inserted successfully whenever I add new data. Okay, let's get started into this and let's create this project. Let's create this simple registration form, and then I'll be telling you how to use functions, and then I will be telling you how to insert the data inside the database and how to display that data inside the website. Okay, so for that first you have to install this XAMPP. Okay, because we already know PHP is a server-side scripting language. So to run PHP scripts we should always need one server. Okay, here I have just installed XAMPP, and here you have to start Apache and MySQL. Apache will be acting as a local server to run our PHP scripts, and MySQL is the database itself. Okay, we are working inside MySQL database, so you have to start this both Apache and MySQL. Once you started this one after installing XAMPP, just come to that particular directory where you have installed XAMPP. I have just installed in C directory, and here I am having XAMPP. I'll just click on this. Inside this you will be having this htdocs folder. Just click on this htdocs folder. Okay, first time if you have installed, then you will not be having any files here, any folders and any files. Okay, I have created projects, so here I am having these folders. You will not be having these folders. Now here inside this just create one folder. I have created one folder, image upload. Inside this you can see it is empty. I have not created any file yet. Now just right click on this and open with code. Okay, once you open this with VS Code editor, it is going to open, and here we are going to create all the files. We are going to create database, we are connecting to database, we are going to see how to use functions, and we will see how to upload images. Okay, now here inside this first I am just going to create one file. I will be creating index.php. Now inside this file I will just come here. I will be searching for getbootstrap.com. I'll just search for getbootstrap.com, and from here I'm just going to copy CSS CDN link. I'll just click on get started, and here you can see here I'm having this CSS CDN link. I'm just going to copy this one. First I'm just going to write here basic boilerplate, and below this I'm just going to paste that CSS link, and from here till here I'm just going to remove. Okay, if you want you can keep, but I'm just removing that one, and here I'll just write the heading. I'll just write here image upload. I'll save this. Now I'll just copy this entire path, and here I'm just going to paste that one, only paste. And from here till htdocs I'm just going to remove. I'll just write here localhost. I'll enter. Now you can see my title is being changed to image upload. Now if I just write one h1, I'll just write here registration form, enter. I'll refresh this. Now you can see here I'm having this output. Now for this I'm just going to give one class. Okay, I'll be using bootstrap, so I'll be using bootstrap classes here. Now for this h1 I'm just going to give bootstrap class. I'll just come inside this one, and here I'll be writing class, and for this I'll just write here text center. Okay, stylings, if you know stylings, you can just ignore this styling part and directly you can jump to PHP code. And now for this I just want some margin from top and bottom. So here I'm just giving margin y of 3. Y is top and bottom, okay, y axis. M stands for margin. Now here this is my output. Now below this I'll just come here. Now below this, here I am having this input fields. Okay, so for that I am just going to wrap this inside one div container. I'll just come here. Now below this I am just going to create one div, and for this div I'll just give the bootstrap class container. Okay, container will take only the maximum width. Inside this div container I am just going to create form. Action I will give later. Now inside this form I am just going to create one div, and for this div I'll just give the class name as form group. Okay, this is bootstrap class, you don't have to worry if you don't know. Okay, once you go to bootstrap and you search for form, you will be getting this entire data. Now here I'm just going to write input field, text, name and ID. As of now I'm just going to remove. Okay, name I'm not going to remove, only ID I'll be removing, and here I'll just write username. I'll save this. I'll come here. I'll refresh this one. Here I am having this input field. Now for this I am just going to give one placeholder. I'll be writing placeholder. Placeholder is username. Okay, something. Okay, you can give anything here. I'm just going to write here username. Save. Okay, now you can see here I am having this placeholder. Now this form I want completely in the middle. Okay, so for that first I want it to take complete 100%. So we are adding one class here for this input field, and here I am just adding here form control. Now once I add this bootstrap class, it is going to take complete 100% of that div container. I'll refresh this. It is taking complete 100% of that div container which we are creating here. Okay, which we have created here, this one. Now I want this form should take only particular width. So for this entire form I am just going to give the class, and class I'll just give here width to be 50%. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see it is taking only 50% because it has reduced in size. Okay, you can see it has reduced in size, and here I am having this output. If I don't give this 50%, I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. You can see it is taking complete 100%. I'll just do Control Z. Now if I just show you the output, it will be taking complete 50%. Now I want this form in the middle. So for that, inside this div container, I'll be using display to be flex. And also we are having, once we use display flex, we can use justify content. I'll be writing here justify content to be center. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see my form has come in the middle. Now if I just show the demo project, here I am having username, mobile and choose file. Now again I have to copy this entire thing, and here I am going to paste that one. Again, in place of text, in place of name, I'll be writing here mobile, and here placeholder I'll be writing here mobile, and finally here I am having the same thing. I'll save this one. I'll refresh this. Okay, now here I am having this output. Now for this I am just going to give some margin. Now for this input fields, now for this div container I am just going to add some margin top and bottom, and here also I will be adding margin top and bottom. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see here I am having this forms, but here if you see here, this both the things I am repeating. Okay, this both the things I am repeating, so I don't want to do that one. So now here we are using the concept of functions. So for that I am just going to create one file. I'll be writing operations, or you can give any file name. I'll just write here operations.php. Now inside this file, first I'll be writing this PHP syntax. I'll just close this left panel. Now inside this I'm just going to create one function. I'll just write here function, and I'll give my function name as input fields. Inside this function, I'll be passing parameters. First, let me add here placeholder. Okay, placeholder we are having separate for each one, username, mobile, password. So placeholder I want. Next, I want to add name. Next, I want to add value. And finally, I just want to add the type. Okay, type it is text or it is email or it is file. Okay, I just want to add that one. I'm just passing 4 parameters inside this function. Now inside this, I'm just going to create one variable. Let me just write this variable name as element, and here I'll just open this double quotes, and here I'll be closing this one. Now inside this double quotes, I'll just come to index.php. This entire div I'm just going to copy, and here I'm just going to paste that one. Now for this, you can see here also I'm using double quotes, and here also I'm using double quotes. So to avoid this, here I can just use this backslash, and here also I'll be using this backslash. Okay, either you can concatenate or you can use like this. Okay, either way you can do. Next, I'm just going to do, instead of type, I'll just remove this type from here. Instead of this, I'll be using this type. Okay, whatever I have passed here, that I will be using. I'll copy this one. I'll just close in single quotes, and here I'm just going to paste that one. Instead of this username, I'm going to remove this, and here I'm just going to paste this one. I'll just wrap in single quotes, and here I'm just going to paste. And placeholder also I'm just going to remove single quotes, and this one I'm just going to paste. I'll copy this, and here I'm going to paste. And finally, for this also I'm just writing here backslash. Okay, escape characters, not here. I'll just write this one here. Finally, we want one more attribute, that is value, and inside this I'm just going to write this value. Okay, whatever I have passed here, I just want to store that one here. This is how we are going to create functions. Okay, now this entire thing, whatever we are passing here, that we can use repeatedly. Okay, now inside this index.php, I want to use that function. So for that, first I just have to include that one. Okay, I need only one time. I just need only one time. So I'll be requiring that one. Instead of including, I'll just write here require once. Okay, I just want to require once, and inside this I'll be writing that file name. I'll just write here operation.php. Okay, let me just check for the file name. Operations, it is operations. I'll be writing here operations.php. Okay, I'm just requiring once. Require once means only one time I required this one, but again if I just load that one, it should be there. Okay, so for that I'm just going to use that one. Now I'll just comment this entire thing. Later on I'm just going to remove. Now instead of that, instead of writing this, I'll be opening this PHP syntax, and here I'll be closing that one. Inside this PHP, I'll be writing this function name input fields, and here I'm just going to paste that one. Okay, before that, if I just comment this one and if I show you the output, I'll refresh this, you can see both the fields will go because here I have commented that one. Now inside this function, I have to pass 4 parameters. I'll just open this one. Now first I'm having placeholder. So placeholder, I'll just write here username. Next I'm having name. Okay, next I'm having name. So for name, I'll be writing here username. Okay, this name is very important, and here I'll be writing username. And next I'm having value. Value I don't want, so I'm just giving here empty. Next finally I'm having type. For type I'm just going to give here text. I'll just write here text. I'll save this. Okay, now let me just remove this comments from here. I'll save this one. I'll refresh this. When I refresh this one, here I am not getting this output because inside this function I don't have anything to print. Like, okay, I have just passed this one. Now to get that one, I just have to print that. Okay, to print variables inside PHP, we are having this echo function, and now here I'll just want to print this one. Now this element is having this entire thing, so I'm just printing that one. Now if I just refresh this, now you can see here I'm having this input field. Let me just change this one to username. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now here I am having this output. Okay, now we are having this one, and also inside this, here I am going to add one more attribute, that is nothing but autocomplete. Now here I'll be writing this one, autocomplete to be off, and here I'll be writing this. I'll save this one because whenever I click, I don't want the suggestions to appear. Now whenever I click, I will not be having any suggestions. Now in the same way, now I don't have to repeat this entire thing. I just have to write this function. I'll just write here 3 times, and instead of this, I'll be writing here mobile, and here I'll just change it to mobile. And finally type, let it be text. Placeholder I'm just going to remove. We don't need any placeholder when we are uploading images. Now next, name I'm just going to give here file, value I don't need, and type also I'm just going to give here file. Okay, for images you should always give the type as file. Okay, only then you will be getting this option. Okay, choose file. Now if I just refresh this one, you can see here I am having username, mobile, and this choose file. Okay, this entire thing, okay, we are just creating using this function. Okay, this is how we are going to use functions in PHP. Now I am just going to remove this entire thing. Instead of that, we are just creating one function. We are just using this PHP syntax. We are calling this function 3 times and we are just passing this different arguments. Below this, I am just going to create one button, and for this button I am just going to give this class btn dark. Inside this, let me just write here submit. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now here I am having this button. Now for this I am just going to add type. For this button, I'll be adding type. Type is equal to button. Okay, if you want, you can use input field and you can pass the same arguments here, or else you can create separate function for buttons if you are having multiple buttons, and you can use the same way. Okay, you can create the same function. Okay, you can create different function. You can give different function name and you can give that for buttons as well. Now for this button, I'm just going to give this name attribute. Name attribute is very important when it comes to PHP. Now for this name attribute, I'm just going to give here submit. Okay, now we are done with this basic styling. I'll just come here. I'll refresh this one. Now we are done with this basic styling. Here I'm having username, mobile, choose file. Now when I click on choose file, this pop-up will be opened, and from here I can choose the images. Now here if I just select this one, you can see here I'll be having this image name. Now whenever I click on submit, I just want to display that data inside another file. Okay, before that we just have to create the database. So come inside this PHP myadmin dashboard, just write localhost PHP myadmin. Now here I'm just click on this new, and here just give the database name. I'll just write here image upload project. Click on create. Now this database will be created. You can see here I'm having this image upload project, this one. Now inside this database, I'm just going to create the table. Let me just create registration itself. Now for this, I'm just going to give the fields. For ID I want, for username, for mobile, and for image. So totally 4 fields. So here I'm having 4. I'll just click on go. Inside this image upload project, I'm creating table, that is registration. Inside this, first I'm just going to give ID. Second, I'll be writing here name. Third, I'll be writing mobile, and finally image. Okay, these 4 fields I'm just writing. For int, for ID, the data type will be int. For name, I'm just going to give here varchar, and size I'll just give here 100. For mobile also, I'm just going to give varchar, and size I'll just give 20. For image also, I'm just going to give varchar, and size I'll just give here 200. Okay, this is the simple fields I'm just creating. Now just scroll this one. Now here you will be having this AI comments. Just enter this one. This is nothing but auto increment, which means each time you don't have to enter the ID number, it will automatically generate one number to you, and by default it is going to start from 1 and it will increment by 1. Once you give this auto increment, this ID field will become primary, which means that it uniquely identifies each record in a table. So it is primary, and here I have just given this auto increment. Okay, once you create this one, just click on save. Okay, now we have created the database image upload project. Inside this we are having this table registration. Inside this registration I am having all these fields: ID field, name field, mobile field, and image. For ID I have given auto increment and primary. Okay, for name, for mobile, for image I have not given anything. I have just given the data type and size. Okay, now once we are done with this, now we have to connect to this database. Only then we can insert the data, only then we can display the data. So to connect to database, now here I am just going to create one file. I'll be writing connect.php. Now inside this file, first I'll be writing this PHP syntax. Now here I'm just going to create one variable. I'll just write here con, and inside this I'll be writing this one mySQL like connect. And here inside this I'm just going to pass 4 arguments. First I'll be passing my server name, that is nothing but localhost. Next I just have to pass the username. My username is root. Next, password I'm just going to pass. If you have installed XAMPP and if you have not changed the password inside localhost PHP myadmin dashboard, then your password will be empty, but I have changed my password, so I'm just giving here my password. And next, finally, we have to pass a database name, okay, in which database we are working. Now I have just created image upload project, so I'll be writing that one. I'll just write here image upload project. Okay, this is the database I have created. Now here I'm just going to write one condition. If my connection is successful, then I just want to print that this one. I'll just write here connection successful. Else, I'll just close this using semicolon. Else, if I have any error, then using this die function, I just want to display that error. I will be writing here mySQL error. And inside this, we just have to pass this connection variable. If you are having any error inside this connection variable, then display me the error, or else display me this connection successful message. I'll copy this path, and here I'm just going to paste that path, and from here I'm just going to remove. I'll just write here localhost. Enter. Now you can see I'm having this connection successful, which means that I am successfully connected to my database. Now I can insert the data inside the database and also display the data from the database. Now once we are done with this, close this one, and also I don't need this file, I'll be closing this. Now inside this form, for action, I'm just going to create one file, display.php. I'll just write here display.php. Whenever I click on submit button, my action, whatever code I am writing, I'll be writing inside this display.php file, and from there all the code will be taken, and whatever I write, that will be generated and that will be displayed. Now here I am having display.php, and I'm just going to write this method. Method is equal to post. Okay, using post method, I'm just going to perform all the actions. So whenever I click on this submit button, okay, instead of button, I'll just write here submit. Type is equal to submit. Whenever I click on this button, I will be redirected to display.php file. I'll save this. I'll do Control B, and here I'm just going to create that file, display.php. Now inside this file, first I'll be writing this basic boilerplate, and here I'll just write this one display data. And below this, I'm just going to link this CSS file. I'll just come here. I'll copy this bootstrap CSS link, and here I'm going to paste that one. I'll save this. I'll come here. I'll come to this one. I'll refresh this. Now before that, let me just write one H1 here. H1, I'll just write here displaying data. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now when I click on submit, you can see I'm redirected to display.php file, and now here I'm having displaying data as my output. I'll just remove this one. Now inside this file, we are going to write the entire code. Now in this file, we are going to display the data. Now to display the data, first we have to insert the data inside the database. So for that, we are going to write the code now. Now here below this doc types, I'll just write this PHP syntax. Okay, now I am inserting the data inside the database. So first I have to connect to the database, and to connect to the database, I have already created that one. Okay, this particular file. Inside this, I am connecting to the database. Now inside this display.php file, I am just including that file. I'll just write this one, include, and inside this parenthesis, I'll be writing that file name. I'll just write here connect.php file. I'll save this. I'll come here. I'll just refresh this one. Now you can see here I am having this connection successful inside display.php file, which means that I am successfully connected to the database, but I don't want this message to be displayed each time when I load this page. So for that, inside connect.php, I am just changing the condition here. If I am not connected successfully, then show me this error. This particular error, I'll just remove this else part, and also I'm just going to remove this echo. I'll save this. Only if I am not connected to the database, show me this error, or else don't print anything. Now if I just come here, I'll refresh this one. Now you can see I don't have anything, which means that I don't have any error, and I am successfully connected to the database, because inside this display.php, I have just included this file. Now below this, I'm just going to write this one, if is set. Okay, whenever I click on the submit button, I want only then my data, whatever code I am writing, only then it should work. So here I'll be writing this post, okay, super global variable. Inside this, I'll be writing this submit. Okay, this submit, I'll just tell you what is this. Now this submit, whatever I have written here, that should be matching with this particular name. Okay, whatever name you have given here, that should be matching this one. Okay, name attribute is very, very important in PHP. Now this should be matching with this one. Okay, you can give any name here, but here I have just given submit. I'm just telling whenever I click on submit button, only then I should perform all these functions. Now whenever I click on submit button, I should extract all this data. I'll just come to demo project. Now here inside this I'll be writing some value. Here if I just write here Khanam, okay, here I am just writing Khanam. Here I'll be writing some mobile number, and here I am just selecting one image. I'll just select this one. Okay, let me just select this food 5. Let me just select this image. Open. Now here I am having this image 4.jpeg. Now this entire values I have to access. I am just storing, after accessing I will be storing inside one variable, and that variable I am inserting inside the database. Okay, this entire thing I am just going to access now. Now for that, to access that, now here I am just going to create one variable. Okay, variable name you can give anything using post method. Okay, we are using post method. Inside this, for username, whatever name we have passed here. Okay, for username this is our name. Okay, this is our second parameter, that is name. If I just come to operations.php, you can see this is our name. Okay, the second parameter. So here this will be our name, username. I am just going to paste that one. Okay, I am just accessing username. I am storing inside this variable. That is nothing but I am just accessing this Khanam, and this Khanam value will be stored inside this variable. Now next I am just going to create mobile variable. I am going to do the same thing. I will just write this post method, and here inside this whatever name I have passed for mobile, this one, I am just going to copy this, and here I will be pasting that one. Okay, now to access images we are having $files. Okay, we are having files global variable. Now here I am just going to create one variable, and to access that one I will be writing this files. Okay, you just have to write this files global variable. Inside this, whatever name you have passed for file, I have passed this file. I am just going to copy the same thing, and here I am going to paste that one. Okay, I am just copying all the things. I am copying all the values. I am just accessing all the values I am storing inside this separate variables. Okay, now this let me just print this one. Now if I just print, and here I will be writing this username, I will just write this echo, and here I will be writing one break tag. Okay, so that the output will be printed next line. Again I just want to print the mobile, so I will be writing here mobile, and also I am just going to copy the same thing, and here I will be pasting that one. I will save this. I will just refresh this one. Now here I am just going to write one username, and here I will be writing mobile. I will just select one file. This, it is not going to be printed. I will just open this one. I will just click on submit. Now here you can see username is printed and mobile is printed, but here I am having this noticed undefined indexed file. Okay, here for this I am getting this error. Okay, now again if I just print that one, again I will be getting the same error, because this file, okay, this is nothing but it is two-dimensional associative global array. So it is returning array, and while we are submitting the form, we have to submit one multiple data. Okay, because we are submitting array is nothing but it is going to store multiple values. Now to store multiple values, to store multiple data, or to submit multiple data, we just have to write one attribute inside index.php file. Now here inside this form, here I am just going to write this one. I will be writing this enc type is equal to, you just have to write like this, multipart slash, and here inside this you have to write form data. Okay, we are submitting form data. You just have to write this attribute enc type is equal to this particular data. Once you write this, then you will not be having any error. I'll just come here. Okay, I'll just refresh this one. Now I'll be writing some name, mobile, choose any file. Once you write that one, then you will not be having any error. Okay, here I am having this schema and mobile. Now if I just want to display the image, I'll just come to display.php. Now if I just want to display, I'll be writing this echo, and here I'll be writing this image. I'll save this. I'll just come back. I'll just select any of the image, and here I'll be writing some name. Let me just write here Rima, and here mobile some number, submit. Now you can see I'll be getting this array to string conversion. Okay, now I already told you this is nothing but it is two-dimensional array. So for that we are going to use, instead of echo, we will be writing here print r. Now when we are writing print r, we have to write like this in parenthesis. It will help us to print the array data. I'll save this. I'll come back. I'll just write one name. Let me just write here Seema. I'll be writing one mobile number. I'll be selecting one image. Open. Now when I click on submit, you can see here I am having this array, and here I am having this name field. Inside this I am having this name of the image. Again here I am having this type, and type is nothing but image, this one. Again I am having this temp folder, my image is saved inside this particular folder, and here I am having error 0, which means that I don't have any error. And finally I am having this size. Okay, to print array data you should always use this print r, and inside parenthesis I am just passing this data. Okay, now I just want to access this particular name, I just want to access this name, I just want to access this type, and I just want to access this temp name. Okay, we will see how to use that one, and also I will be accessing the error. Now this is nothing but array. Okay, array can be accessed using index numbers, so we will see how to do that one. Now first I just want to access this particular name. Okay, whatever name I am having here, this particular name I just want to access. So here I am having this name attribute. Okay, here I am having this name index. So for that, here I will be creating one variable. I will just give my variable name as image file name. Okay, you can give any variable names, and inside this, okay, this is nothing but array. I will just copy this one, and here I am going to paste, and from here I just want to access this name attribute. Okay, name field. I will save this. Okay, this particular thing I am accessing, so I am just writing that one here. Let me just write here print r, and inside this I am just going to write this variable name, image file name. I will save this. I will refresh this one. Okay, now you can see here I am having this bike4. Okay, this entire bike4.jpeg that is been printed here. Okay, if I just write here break, I will just copy this one, and here I am going to paste, and also here I will be pasting that one. Okay, only name I am accessing, so you can see here I will be getting this particular name. Okay, only this name I have accessed, and I am just printing that one. Now next I just want to access this error, this particular error I just want to access. So for that, okay, if you don't access then also it's fine. Now here I am just going to write here image error. Okay, let me just write here image file error. Inside this I will be writing this image variable, and here inside this I am just going to pass this error. Now here I just want to print that one. To print I will be writing here print r, and inside this I am just going to pass this image file error. I will save this. I will come here. I will refresh this one. Now you can see file error is 0. So here also I am having 0, and here 0 is been printed. Okay, I am accessing separate values, and these values I am just going to store inside the database. After combining everything, I will be storing inside the database. Now next I just want to access this temporary name. Okay, this entire thing I just want to access. Now below this, first I will be writing this break. Okay, so that my output will come in next line, and here I am just going to access that one. Now here I will be writing this. Let me just write here image file temp, image file temp. Inside this I will be writing this image variable, and here I just want to access this temp name. I will just do here print r. Inside this I am just going to pass this one image file temp. I will save this. Now you can see here whatever I am having here temp name I have just passed. I will refresh this one. Okay, now entire thing has gone. I will just come back. I will just select one particular file, particular image, and here let me just select this one. I will submit. Now you can see here I am having this temp. Okay, whatever temp I am having here, this particular directory I am getting as my output. Okay, this is my name, this is the error, and this is the temp file name. Okay, now from this image, now you can see this is my image name, this is the error, and this is the temp folder, temp directory. Now from this particular name, I just want to separate this name. Okay, this name and this extension. Suppose maybe I am having PNG, suppose if I am having JPEG, so I am just separating this and this. So for that we are having one function. Now here I will be writing this one. I will just copy this, and here I will be writing that. Now below this, I will just create one variable. I will be writing here file name, and let me just write here file name separate. I am just going to separate file name and the extension. Separate is equal to, we are having this explode function, explode method or function, and inside this I just want to separate wherever I am getting dot, I want to separate from there. I will just separate using comma, and next I am just going to pass this extension. Okay, this entire file name I just want to separate from this file name. Okay, I got bike.jpeg. From that file name I just want to separate wherever I am getting dot, I just want to separate that one. Now once I have separated that, suppose here you can see, I will just show you. Now here I am having bike3.jpg. First I am just separating this one. This is the first part, and this will be the second part. Okay, after dot it is going to separate. So we are going to use this explode method. I am just writing here dot, wherever I am having dot, just separate that one. Now below this I'm just going to write this one. Let me just write here print r, and inside this I'll be writing this name, file name separate. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, again it is gone. I'll be selecting one image. I'll just select one image. Okay, let me just select this home food, open, submit. Now you can see here inside array 0 home food is stored, inside array 1 this has been stored. Okay, extension is been stored. Okay, this has been separated and this has been separated and it is stored inside one array, and here I am having this output. Inside 0th index I am having home food, inside array index 1 I am having this extension. Now once we get this one, I am just accessing this last part, array index 1. Okay, you can access in two ways. I have two ways to access the last part. You can use any one of them. So first I'll be writing the first method. Now below this I'm just going to create one variable. I'll just write here file extension. I'll just write the proper spelling, file extension. Now inside this I'm just going, first I just want to convert into string lower. If it is in capital letters it will just convert into lower letter, and here I'll just write this one. I'll be writing this file name. I'll just copy this file name separate. This is nothing but array, and here I'm going to paste, and here I just want to access array index 1. Now I'm just going to print that one. I'll be writing this print r, and inside this let me just write this one file extension. I'll save this. Let me just copy this, and here I'll be pasting that one. I'll refresh this. Okay, again I have to select one image. I'll just select the image. I'll just select this image 12, open, submit. Okay, here I am having this undefined function string lower. It is string to lower. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see here this extension is been separated. Okay, this entire thing is been printed. You can access either like this using array index, or I'll just comment this one. I'll just come down, or you can access like this. I'll just copy the same thing, and here I'm going to paste, and instead of this here I'm just going to write this end method, and here I'll just wrap inside this one. I'll just remove this. I'm just telling that I just want to access the end part. I just want to print that one. I'll just copy this, and here I'm going to paste. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see again I'm having the same output. Okay, you can use any one of the method to access the end part. Now here let me just keep this one. You can either use this one or you can use this one. Okay, don't get confused. I'll just explain you this one. Now this is nothing but it is two-dimensional array. It is going to return array. So to print array we should always use this print r. Now here inside this we will be having some attributes. Here we are having name, we are having type, temp name, we are having this error and size. Now to access individual data types, okay, I am just creating this one separate variables for each one of them. I am accessing name, error and temp name from this particular fields itself. I am accessing this one, I am storing inside separate variable. Now from the name, from image name I am just separating from dot, I am just separating the image name and the extension. Okay, here I am just printing that one. Now to get only the extension, you can either use like this or you can use like this. You will be getting the extension. Now here I am just going to create one variable. I'll just write here extensions. Now inside this I'll be storing array, and inside this array first I'll be writing this JPEG. Okay, I'm just writing the extensions. I'll be writing JPG, and finally I'll be writing PNG. Okay, you can use many extensions like you are having GIF. Okay, you can use as many extensions you want, but I'll be using these three extensions: JPEG, JPG and PNG. Now here I'll be writing the condition if, and here I'll just write this if in array. I'm telling that if inside this array, I'll just copy this file extension. Okay, this is going to return me the last extension of the image. Either let it be this one, let it be this one, or let it be this one. Okay, like this it is just going to return JPEG. Now here I am just checking the condition. If inside my array, I'll just separate using comma, and here I am just going to pass this one. Okay, whatever extension I got from the image, if it is present inside this extension variable, that is this, out of this three, if it is present, only then I just want to insert the data inside the database. I'll just come down. Now here I'm just going to create one folder. Here I'll be writing this upload image. Upload image. Inside this, here I'm just going to create one folder images. Inside this I just want to store all the images. So I'll be writing this one, and here I'll just write this dot, and this particular file name. This entire file name I just want to store. I'll copy this one and here I'm just going to paste that one. Okay, whatever file name I'm just accessing, I'm just copying that one, I'm storing inside this images folder. Now once you write this one, you just have to create this images folder here. I'll be writing here images. Okay, now my images folder is empty. I don't have any images inside this. Now whenever I insert the data inside the database, all the images will be stored inside this folder itself. So before only you have to create this folder. Now whenever I am just telling that whenever my file extension is present inside this array, only then you just have to create this folder and you have to insert the data. Now here I have created one folder. Now you have to use one method. I'll be writing this move uploaded file. Now this will help us to upload the file inside the folder and it will help us to move that file. Now here I'll be writing this move uploaded file. Inside this, I just have to move inside this temp. Okay, this one. This is the R directory. I'll copy this one and here I'll be pasting that one. I'll just separate using comma, and this particular image, I'll just copy this one. This particular image folder, I'm just moving that one. Okay, we are having this temp folder here. Suppose we are, okay, by default we are getting this particular folder where our image will be stored. Here I'm just telling that move uploaded file. This uploaded file I just want to move here. Okay, so I'm just writing this one. Don't get confused. If you're not understanding, just practice this 2 to 4 times, then you will understand this one. Okay, here again I'm just creating one folder. Whatever image I'll be uploading, that will be stored inside this folder. Now here I'm having this image uploaded file method, and inside this I'm telling that this particular folder, just move this one. So here I'll be creating one variable. Inside this I'll be writing the query. I'll just close using semicolon. Now here I'll be writing that query insert into. We just have to write the table name. Here I am using this backticks. Okay, these are not single quotes, I am using backticks, and my table name, whatever I have created here, registration, I am just going to give that name. I will be writing here registration. Insert into registration, and here inside this I just have to pass the fields. I will be writing name, I will be writing mobile, and finally I am just writing here image. Okay, this whatever fields I am passing here, that should be matching exactly with this one. Okay, name, mobile and image. I am not passing this ID because I have given here auto increment and also primary. Name, mobile and image, these fields I am passing here. Insert into table name, this particular fields, and here I will be writing this values, and inside this values I just want to pass this values. Okay, first I want to pass this image. First I just want to pass this username. I will copy this one. And here I am going to paste that one. I'll separate using comma. Next I just want to insert the mobile number. I'll copy this one and here I'm just going to paste that one. And again finally I just want to upload the image. Now I just want to upload the image. My image is in this folder, so I'm just going to paste that one here. Now once we are done with this, we have to execute this query. So here I'll be creating this result variable. Inside this I'll be writing this one mySQL query, and this is going to take 2 parameters. First is my connection variable and second is my query variable SQL. And here I'll be writing this one, if my result, if it is true, only then I just want to print this one. I'll be writing here data inserted successfully. Else, here I'll be writing this one, and here I'm just going to write this one mySQL error. If I'm having some error, then print me this error. And here inside this I'm just going to pass this connection variable. Now this connection variable is present inside connect.php. I'm just passing that one here. I'll just come here. I'll refresh this one. I'll just come back. Now here I'm just going to write Khanam. Mobile number, I'm just going to write some random number. I'll just select one file. And from here I'm just going to select this file image 12. Open, submit. Now here I'm having data inserted successfully, which means that my data is inserted successfully inside the database. Now this is my table. I'll refresh this one. Now inside this registration table, I'll just come to registration table. Inside this table you can see whatever name, whatever mobile number and images I have inserted, that is been uploaded here. Okay, you can see this is my folder images. Inside this I'm having image12.jpg. Okay, this is how we are going to insert the data inside the database. Now whatever data I'm having here, that data I just have to display. I'll just come back. Now again I'm just going to insert one more name. I'll just write here Seema, mobile number 4444. I'll just select one file, and from here I'm just going to select this one. Let me just select this particular thing, open, submit, data inserted successfully. I'll come to database, I'll refresh this one. Okay, it's taking time to refresh, but once it is refreshed, you can see this data has been inserted here. Okay, now this entire data I just have to display. Now in place of this, I just want, let me just come here. Now in place of this, I'll just come to Bootstrap, and here you will be having alerts. Click on this, and from here I'm just going to copy this one. Okay, this success I'll just copy from here. I'll copy this, and here I'm going to paste that one. Here I'll just use single quotes, and here also I'll be using single quotes. I'll just remove this one. I'll just write here data inserted successfully, and also here I'll be writing strong tag. I'll just write here success. I'll save this. I'll come to my project. I'll come back. I'll insert. I'll just refresh once. I'll insert another data. Let me just write here Rima. I'll be inserting 5555. I'll select one file. Let me just select this home foot, open, submit. Submit. Now you can see here I am having data inserted successfully. I'll just give one space here, then I'll be having some space here. Okay, now this is how, okay, this entire thing I'm just going to comment. Only for explanation I have just printed this one. Later on I'm just going to remove that. Now below this I just want one display table. Okay, like this table I just want to create where all the data will be displayed from the database. So now inside this body, I'll just write h1. Here I'm just going to give the Bootstrap class. I'll just write here text center and also some margin. Now inside this I'll be writing this heading. I'll just write here user data. I'll save this. I'll come to my project. I'll refresh this one. Now here I'm having user data. Now below this one I'm just going to create one div, and for this div I'll just give the class name as container, and also I'm just going to give some margin top. Okay, margin top of 5. Now inside this I'm just going to create the table. So I'll just come to Bootstrap. Now here I'll be searching for table. Okay, I'll be selecting normal table. I'll search for that, and from here I'm just going to copy this one. Okay, this entire table I'm just going to copy. Instead of this, let me just copy. Okay, let me just copy the entire table, and below this I'm just going to paste that one. I'll come here. I'll refresh this. Now you can see this table is being displayed. Now in place of this table rows, I want to display the table data whatever I'm having inside the database. I'll just remove this one, 2 TRs. Now here let me just remove this. And here I'll be writing here serial number, and here I'll be writing username. Mobile I don't want to display mobile data, let it be inside the database, so I'll just remove this one. Now here I'll be writing here image. Now for this table I'm just going to give border. I'll just write here table bordered. Here I'm just going to write that one, table bordered. I'll save this. Now here you can see I don't have any borders for the table. I'll refresh this. Now for entire table I'm getting this border. Now for this table I'm just going to give the width I'll just give 50%. I'll refresh this. Now it is taking only 50% of the width. Now I want this table in the middle. So for that, for this div container I'm going to give display to be flex, and also I'll be giving justify content to be center. Justify content center. Once I give this one, my table will come in the middle. I'll just give this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see my table has come in the middle. Now for this table header I'm just going to give one class. Okay, you can avoid this stylings if you want. I'm just going to give some stylings. I'll just write here table dark. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now here I'm not having that one. Okay, let me just check table dark. I'll just copy this one. We should give here, sorry, I just have to paste that one here. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now here I'm having this output. Now here from here I'm just going to remove one data. I'll just remove this. Let me just write here 1. Let me just write here Khanam. And finally let me just remove this, and here I'll just write image. I'll refresh this. Now here I'm having this table. Now in place of this dummy data, I just want to display the data from the database. Now below this body I'll be writing this PHP syntax. I'll just close this PHP syntax here. Now inside this I'll be writing one SQL query. I'll just write here SQL, and here I will be writing this select star from registration. Okay, this is my table name registration, which means that I'm selecting all the data from the table. Select star from registration. Now this star means select whatever data I'm having inside the database, select this entire data. Now I have to execute this one, so I'll be writing this result variable, and here I'll be writing this one. And here I'm just going to pass this connection variable and query variable. Now below this, let me just write this row, and inside this I'll be writing this one mySQL fetch assoc method, and inside this I'm just going to pass this result variable. Now this is going to fetch all the data present inside the database. Here I'm just selecting all the data, and here I'm fetching all the data present inside the database. Now if I just echo this one, I'll just write here echo, and here let me just write here name. I'll save this. I'll come to my project. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see Khanam is being displayed here, which means that whatever data we are having inside the database, the first data whatever I am having inside the name, that is been displayed here. Now if I just want to display image, I'll just write here image. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the image path is being displayed here. Only the first data is being displayed, but I want all the data should be displayed. So this entire thing we just have to wrap inside while loop. I'll just write here while. This entire condition I'm just going to copy. I'll cut from here. I'm just going to paste that one here. Now this while loop is going to run unless and until I have the data inside my database. Now here I'm just going to access the ID. I'll just remove this one. Now here I'm just going to create one variable ID, and here I'll be writing this one row, and from database I'm just going to access the ID field. Okay, this ID field whatever I'm giving here, that should be matching with this particular field. Okay, this field, okay, this ID field. Now below this I just want to access the name. I'll just write here name. I'll be writing this row variable. Inside this I'm just going to access the name field. Next I just want to access the image, so I'll be writing here image. I'll be writing this row, and here I just want to access the image path. Now I have accessed all the variables, all the values from the database I have stored inside this variables. Now here I'm just going to print. I'll just write here echo. Inside this single quotes, this entire table data I just want to print. I'll copy, cut from here, and here I'm going to paste. I'll save this. I'll come to my project. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see 3 times my data is being displayed, because inside the database 3 datas are present, and here 3 times it is being displayed because this while loop is going to run 3 times unless and until my data is present inside the database, that is going to run. Now in place of this I just want to print this ID. Okay, this ID I just want to print. Now here I'll be writing this. I'm just going to concatenate with this one. Okay, this particular single quote, this single quote, again I'm concatenating this ID, again this particular data and this data. Next I'm just going to remove this one. I'll be writing this one, and here I'll just write this name, and finally again I'll remove this. Here I'll be writing this image. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the data whatever I'm having inside the database, that is been displayed, but here I'm getting this path. Now instead of this I want image, so here I'll just remove this one. Instead of this I'll be writing this image tag. I'll be writing this src. Now inside this I'll be writing this image. I'll just concatenate with this one, and here I'm just going to close that one. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see entire image whatever I have stored inside the database, that is been displayed. Now here I'm just going to use this style tag. I'll just come here. Now here I'll be writing this style. Now inside this I'll just write this image. For this image I'm just going to give the width as 200 pixel. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now here I'm having this image. Okay, if you want you can just reduce the size. I'll just write here 100 pixel. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see entire data whatever I'm having inside the database, that is being displayed here. This is how we are going to insert the images inside the database and display the images from the database. Now here I'm just going to write one name. I'll just write here Suresh. Here let me just write 555. I'll be selecting one file, and here let me just select this particular image 21. I'll open, submit. Now you can see this image is been inserted. Okay, this entire data I'm getting because I have printed that one. Okay, as of now I'm just going to comment this one. I'll just comment this. I have commented. I'll be selecting this image. I have just written Ramesh and number and this image, submit. Now I am having success, data inserted successfully, and this data is being displayed here. Okay, this is how we are going to insert the data and we are going to display the data. Okay, if you want you can just refer this one. Okay, I'll just come here. Okay, if you want you can just take the screenshot of this and you can practice this one. Okay, that's all for today's tutorial. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.